This is your podcast ghost and editor Trev here. I just wanted to take a moment to wish everyone a happy Halloween. This is the last episode of Cryptid Month for the year, but we are going out with a bang, our favorite cryptid of all time. We hope you've been enjoying the month so far. Let's get into the show.
You are driving through the woods in West Virginia on a double date, looking for a quiet spot away from the prying eyes of your small town to hang out. A shadow passes over the hood of the car. The girls giggle and joke about a monster, and the shadow vanishes. You hear the shrieking of a bird in the distance. Suddenly, you scream and slam on your brakes when you see a dark shape in the road. You flick on your high beams, and the creature rises to its full 7-foot height. Its red eyes glow, and slowly, its massive wings unfurl. You have witnessed the Mothman.
The Mothman.
Welcome to Ghostbusters. That's such a long tail on the...
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be that? I've always run over it and just kept going.
I usually cut it off.
Okay.
Like, I'll be like, I'll wait till it gets halfway through. And I'm like,
no, I thought I synced that one up pretty well. I really tried to cut myself down.
You even hit the part on the
I tried to
drop.
do that as well. Yeah.
I always appreciate one of those.
I am working out here. Hello, my junior binkers, my senior binkers. How are you all doing? I am Killian. Ghosts are stupid. And in the final week of Cryptid Month, here I say cryptids are not stupid. They're real and they're cool. And with me is, as always, Trev.
I'm Trev. I forgot that I had to do this part. And
the talking part of the podcast?
Well, the part where I have to say that I think ghosts are... I'm trying to believe in them. And cryptids... I guess I'm not trying as hard to believe in the cryptids.
Not even, and they're so much realer than ghosts could be, honestly.
It's weird because I feel like throughout this month, I have flip-flopped back and forth on like, oh, maybe cryptids are easier to believe. Oh, you know what? No, ghosts are easier to believe. I don't even know where I stand anymore. I love Mothman, though.
Yeah. No, are you excited for this one?
I am excited for Mothman. Didn't realize he was 7 feet tall.
We'll get into, the specifics, but yeah, he's a big boy. And the reason we'll get into the specifics of the whole Mothman thing is because together we are the Ghost Binkers, and we explore real-life spooky stories, and we joke the spooky credibility out of them, a light binking, so to speak. That's our tagline, our catchphrase.
That is our catchphrase.
Our mantra.
Copyright 2025.
TM 25.
We restricted.
Yeah. The C or something. We yell it like Team Rocket.
Yeah. Every time we are defeated in hand-to-hand combat, we say that.
Well, that's the good thing is we never have been. We're undefeated.
That's very true. It's also a villain monologue.
I was gonna say we do also challenge one person and then just hit them from behind when they're hitting the other person. So it's a really good strategy. It keeps us undefeated. Do we have any warm-ups or emails or anything like that today? Because I have nothing.
I have a little announcement. And I should have had this pulled up sooner, but I'm just going to stall. I'm going to vamp.
Well, everyone at home can grab their little shoes and their sweaters.
Grab
and they
their little shoes and sweaters.
Their Ghost Binkers merch they've designed for themselves. And
and if you design it, honestly, send it to us. We'll steal
the design,
We'll steal the design.
And we won't pay you.
We won't pay you. We'll credit you, though.
We will charge you for your own design,
We'll pay you with clout.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not coming up on my computer, but I do have it on my phone here. We have a friend of the show, Sarah Barnacle, who we discovered.
Yeah.
Yes. She wrote an article, I believe it was on the Spidergate Cemetery.
Yep.
And, we riffed on her name a little bit. I reached out to her and said, hey, I'm really sorry. I didn't realize you were so local. We riffed on your name a little bit, and she was actually really cool about it.
You got to be with the last name Barnacle, right?
And, she actually, had some jokes in her pocket. She was very funny about it. Sarah Barnacle is now friend of the show.
Yeah.
She reached out today and said that she had a couple more stories that she wrote that are kind of spooky
Ghost-appropriate.
Ghost-appropriate.
Hey!
And so I think next episode, when I reclaim my power, we're going to do an episode or two based on some stories that she wrote.
I'm thrilled to hear that because anytime we get a writer who isn't complete dog shit, I'm like, wow, a person who cares.
Yeah, I remember actually appreciating Sarah's writing.
Yeah,
so.
like a person who works for an organization and edits their writing. It's a great time.
That's
why we went so hard on the name, is because the writing was normal. So I couldn't make fun of her, overuse of words she barely understands. I had to, she wasn't doing that. I had to make fun of the fact that her news article. That's all I got.
So just to tease some of the topics that
A topic tease
that we're going to be going over. There is the Lancaster, Massachusetts Blood Forest, which sounds spooky.
that rocks, brother. Yeah.
There's also
I told you I only get behind the aesthetics of things, and that's a pretty sick aesthetic.
Yeah. There's also Worcester's Rattling House, which I assume is a house that shakes back and forth because it's cold, it's chilly.
I was gonna say, honestly, it sounds like every house I've rented out from a landlord because they refuse to fix it and it's falling apart.
And then Harry Houdini's last outdoor performance, I think, was local to Massachusetts or something, because Sarah writes about like the Worcester area typically. And that's a cool, spooky kind of story with some history, which
I was going to say,
my buddy Killian loves history.
Sort of gliding out of ghost territory there a little bit, which I always can appreciate slightly.
There's
I know, but
Harry Houdini ghost mythology as well.
He hated that shit, right? He was a famous skeptic, I believe.
Was he?
I think he was pretty skeptical from what I remember.
That's actually kind of wild, because I feel like the stereotype is like Harry Houdini's ghost is back or whatever.
No, I seem to remember that he was a skeptic sort of person, but maybe I'm misremembering or something. But my instinct would be that
I'll have to look into that.
I'm gonna do the classic Google search.
I'll vamp while you do that.
You don't even have to.
I think it's funny. That would be like if you died, and then everyone was like, "Oh yeah, the ghost of Killian is back for the podcast."
Yeah, he was famous. He was famously skeptical of like psychics, spiritualists, miracle workers. He would like challenge them and stuff and do all that shit. And apparently, him and Arthur Conan Doyle would fight about it all the time. Oh, because Arthur Conan Doyle was like, "You got a gift, my man," and he was like, "Shut the fuck up, you dumb bitch."
And now he has become the thing that he rallied against. He
was like, "I hate dead bodies."
He is a ghost. Everyone says it. It has to be true.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's one of our ghost rules. I do think maybe for like on a week where we need a break, we need to fill out airtime on this dumbass show, we should just put together our ghost rules episode for real.
Yeah. I have a lot written out, so we definitely can do it.
Why?
I keep track of them.
All right, are you ready to get into the meat of the Mothman potatoes?
Yeah, I have one question about Mothman.
Is that the format of the show? What the fuck?
I don't know.
Okay.
I guess I want to bink any preconceived notions that I might have about Mothman. I feel like I heard that the way he talks, he just kind of goes like. Is that true?
Where did you hear that? I guess
I honestly don't even remember.
Okay, yeah, I will say that not to unbink. It seems to be mostly shrieks based on the the stories I'm reading.
That's fun.
Lots of shrieking from
that.
Mothman. Which I think if I were a monster, I would just shriek the whole time.
Yeah,
and I am, and I do. Okay, are you ready to get into the first sightings of
so ready
Mothman?
For Mothman.
Mothman is another one, like the Dover Demon, where the initial sightings and kind of the main like meat of the sightings are concentrated in one specific time period.
Okay.
It's about a calendar year, November 12th, 1966 to December 15th, 1967.
Oh, wow. I actually did not. I thought Mothman was more like 80s, but I apparently don't know as much about Mothman as I thought.
It seems like you know almost nothing based on your muttering.
I know he's got red eyes.
Yeah. Well,
or does he?
No, you. I guess you know that. I did say it in the beginning, so you don't get bonus points for that. Unfortunately, I kind of spoiled your knowing that. So this is from a I guess it's a blog post, right? Medium is a blog.
Yeah.
But this is a blog post from just an unidentified person other than Louise. Oh. She seems nice, likes ice cream, etc. But she captures the first couple sightings here fairly well, so I'm just going to read from her directly here. And again, did I say the year or did you cut me off? I definitely did,
you
right?
said 1966?
Yeah, November 12th,
1966
to December 15th, 1967. That was, December 15th was the day of a tragic bridge collapse in the area.
Oof.
So,
yikes.
Perhaps a little Unabomber activity from the Mothman.
Mothman's taking down bridges?
He's fucking C4.
Mothman is Bane.
He's got that, like the old school like plunger TNT. He's blowing it up. Maybe he was trying to rob a train or something. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. I think if Mothman is more of a a hooligan than a terrorist, I'd appreciate that. But, if he's taking down bridges, I guess I respect the hustle.
He's definitely more of a terrorist for sure. I made a mistake kind of early in our Cryptid Month in that the voice I picked to read in is very dramatic and sort of hurts my throat. So I'm going to mostly read in my regular voice. Okay. But I'll try.
Have you tried doing maybe like a higher pitch voice?
It's kind of already higher pitch. It's not that low.
In 1966.
Okay, ready for it?
I'm ready.
On November 12th, 1966, Kenneth Duncan and 4 other men were grave digging at Kuntz Cemetery in the nearby town of Clendenin. Nearby to
Clendenin?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Clendenin?
Clendenin?
Clendenin. Clendenin.
Yeah, that's a weird name.
Clendenin. And this is near the town they're referring to it being near is Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
Okay.
FYI. So him and 4 other guys are grave digging in this cemetery. They're allowed to do this legally.
Oh,
for the record, they're like grave diggers.
They're digging graves. They're not grave robbing.
Yes, they're digging graves. They're supposed to be doing this.
Okay.
I feel like that was important to.
That is a good detail.
They're grave diggers by profession. They're not just like.
It is, I guess, a little concerning that just went right over my head. I was like, yeah, I guess they're grave digging.
I mean, like some of our
did that back then.
Some of our spooky stuff in the '60s. Yeah, free love and digging graves, man. You heard Jimi Hendrix? Like, that's great music to dig a grave to. Glancing up from his work, Kenneth watched what he thought was a large, man-like figure take off from an overhead tree. For no longer than a minute, the men watched as the creature glided through the trees, completely baffled by what they were seeing. The men shared what they witnessed with family and close friends, but had otherwise brushed it off. It wasn't until 3 days later that the first Mothman encounter would be officially reported in Point Pleasant, and the 5 gravediggers would realize they may have experienced something far more sinister than they originally thought.
Ooh, so they... Yeah. This is a thing that happens a lot, I think, where, like, someone will see something weird, and they're like, oh, that was weird.
Who gives a shit?
Move on.
I think, like me, they were like, I gotta finish digging this grave by tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm gonna like not get my vacation. I have vacation on this weekend. I gotta dig this grave.
But so they see something weird and they're just like, whatever. That was kind of weird. And then someone else is like, I saw the craziest thing in the world. And then they're like, what? Me too.
Yeah. Well, the cynic in me says like it's the transition of things, right? It's like the you have something happen and you're like, oh, whatever, blah blah, and then a few weeks later you're like, oh, it must have been that, and you're kind of like artificially connecting them. Mm-hmm. Although I will say that his story does match with like how Mothman is. There's nothing in their story that is like not matching up details wise. There wasn't a ton of details, but sometimes you get those where like it's like, oh, it had 3 feet, and then sometimes they're like, oh, it had 4 feet. And I'm like,
yeah,
did it lose a foot?
Well, that's because the 3 foot one, it was standing on.
It was its penis.
Oh,
I thought you were gonna say it was its big penis hanging down.
I was just gonna say it was like lifting one leg up.
Oh, sorry, I thought we were a grosser show than that. I thought you were suggesting that he had a massive penis and they assumed it was a leg.
Well, that's also a possibility.
I thought this show was a bunch of trash.
Oh. Is that better? Did I redeem myself?
Clip farming.
I gotta stop. Honestly, I'm gonna be phasing that one out. I think I overuse it a little bit. I'm gonna phase that sound out.
I hate it. So
I'm sunsetting the fart sound.
I hate it, so it's perfect for me. All right. Well, so that's a pretty normal. Nothing there scares you about the encounter. The grave digging, perhaps.
Well, honestly, yeah, the grave digging is spookier than. Well, okay. If I'm being realistic, if I'm digging a grave,
someone's got to put them there.
First off, I'm already a little bit spooked. It's dark, I assume. Yeah, it was nighttime, right?
I don't know who even said the time it was.
Why do I assume you dig graves at night?
Well, see, I would assume you didn't, I guess.
I think realistically, you shouldn't be digging graves at night.
I can like try to look this account specifically up to see if there's something.
I think common sense says you don't dig graves at night, but like when I hear grave digging, I immediately think of like someone with a lantern digging a night grave.
Yeah. It doesn't say. Let me like look up his name.
I think the people who wrote this article said we don't need to specify. You should know that you dig graves in the daytime.
Well, I assumed you would too, but I guess like all the graves I've seen, I've never seen them dug. Now that I think about it. Yeah. But I assume they would use like a machine in the day.
Yeah. But and then also Mothman like isn't very scary in the daytime. You would be able to see if Mothman was Mothman in the daytime.
You think?
I would think.
Yeah, I guess there's no reason to assume it was at night. I also was assuming it was at night.
Is there a pop culture stereotype that has been planted in our heads that you dig graves at night? I guess the grave digger is usually like a creepy guy.
Yeah.
Ooh, he usually talks like this, and he's got a lantern and a shovel, and he's always walking around in the dark.
Yeah, no. I mean, I would assume you dig them during the day.
Well, common sense says you do that job in the daytime.
Oh, I know.
Pop culture says you do it at night.
Does it, though, even?
I think so. Hold on, I'm gonna Google a picture.
I think this was a daytime story.
That's so crazy. I Googled pictures of Gravedigger and I just got the monster truck.
Hell yeah.
How do I look for a non-monster truck? Minus monster truck? Minus truck?
Burn through the
Okay, here we go. Look, all these
pictures.
pictures are like nighttime. All these Gravedigger people.
Well,
in the dark.
also the other Mothman story does happen at night. You know what I mean? So like that's one that I think maybe has like the.
I'm sorry, I got us all hung up on this detail. This is
no, yeah. I mean, I just don't know what else to say other than it might have been during the day. In which case, like you've got to figure that shit out.
If it's during the day, you should know if you saw a Mothman or not.
That's what I feel like. All right, well, so we'll assume that's at night because it's kind of nonsensical otherwise.
And the other ones were at night, I guess.
Here's the
Moths don't come out in the daytime. Well, yeah,
that's a good point. Here's the cut point to remove that entire story.
No, it's gonna honestly be a TikTok clip, I think.
No, it's so meandering. All right, well, let's get into the other setting. This is the juicy one. This is the one people know about, I think.
Okay.
We were following a group of teens, or I guess young couples. It sounds like they're like married couples, but they're like 20-something.
Okay.
Is my guess. Young 20s. I think in West Virginia, you got married at fucking 19 or whatever.
Yeah.
So this is Roger and Linda Scarberry and Steve and Mary Millette.
Okay.
That's their names.
That's fun. Well,
I don't know if it's, I don't know why. I guess I assumed you'd react to that information. You have no knowledge of these people.
Full disclosure, I was swallowing their swingers joke.
Oh, okay.
I was like, should I say it? I don't think I should say it. I guess you should just let it rip on this show. I guess that's the rule. Typically,
you think you should let it rip on the show?
I think typically you should just let it rip on the show.
I even said it again to give you time to go reach for it. Okay, I hate you.
Thanks.
All right, moving on. The Scarberry and Millette sighting. This is back. We're back in the words of our friend B. Louise here.
Scarberry and Millette sounds like a fucking law firm for sure.
Okay. Any two names do kind of.
Yeah, but like Scarberry and Millette is like we're gonna get your shit.
Mothman and Duncan, whatever.
Scarberry and Millette, we're gonna get the job done.
Hey,
hold on, let me try to get Scarberry and Millette. We're gonna get the job done.
It's the sound of me getting up and walking away for everyone on the podcast. Okay, it took place outside an abandoned World War II weapons facility located in what is known as the TNT area, just outside of Point Pleasant.
Oh, the TNT area.
The TNT area, because of all the explosives they manufacture.
Like literally
like TNT.
I was gonna say like, what are they blowing shit up?
Something, nitroglyceride.
Yeah.
TNT, thermonuclear.
Tetra nitroglyceride. I don't know. Total nut.
Total nuclear tonnage. Anyway, yeah. So it's called the TNT area. It's named that because of all the World War II weapons they were making there. It was a popular area for teens and young adults to congregate, despite the haunting presence of the desolate old bomb shelters and government warning signs. That is like crack to bored white teenagers.
I was gonna say
you try and keep a white woman out of a fucking government facility.
And also, if that is not a statement on how desperate some teens are to get some action.
Oh, but
it's like this is the only place we can make this happen. I mean, that's this abandoned war.
That's
facility.
What I implied in my intro. So I do get that. I do genuinely think that you cannot keep like white teenage women away from abandoned buildings. They're like drawn to it, they see a fence that they can kind of climb through, and they're like, oh my god, I gotta go walk around in there.
Call me a white teenage woman then, because I love abandoned places. However, being scared of the police due to my skin color,
right.
I don't ever give into those desires.
Yeah, no, I'm.
But oh boy, do they call.
Similarly, I don't want to like fall through a rotting floor and crack my head open.
That's not even a thought to me.
Yeah, you're. I mean, I guess like police or other people.
I'm more scared to get in trouble than to get hurt.
I'm scared of any damage befalling me from like an actual thing and not a ghost.
A falling beam.
A falling beam. A person who's got a knife. A cop who has a gun and loves shooting it at things.
A 1400s highwayman who says stand and deliver.
Apparently, a decades old TNT that might just explode at any moment.
Also true.
All right. What was meant to be a carefree joyride to a local hangout spot for two young couples turned into a scene from a nightmare when they were faced with a huge pair of glowing red eyes. It wasn't long before the group realized they were looking into the eyes of a creature that appeared to be half man, half monster. The four friends would later describe the monster as being dark gray in color, between 6 and 7 feet tall, and having wings that folded against its back.
Okay, so first off,
kind of not like a moth.
I was gonna say moth wings don't. That's being nitpicky. I'm gonna let that slide. That just sounds like demon wings or something.
Yeah. Moths hold them flat against their body, kind of. I mean, we've all seen a moth.
Yeah.
So they have them kind of flat. Butterflies don't really fold them either. Kind of more like a bat or something else. Or
yeah.
A bird perhaps.
But you know what though? The name Batman was already taken.
That is true. That's very true. And also, but there are other kinds of places where they have like the New Jersey Devil and blah blah, blah and all this other shit that they give a generic name. But this, they felt like he was a moth.
Also, Birdman, I think. Did the Thunderbird already happen at that point? Because Birdman might have been taken too.
The Thunderbird's been around for centuries. The Thunderbirds have been around for years.
Quick side note.
That's why I'm so confused.
That's why I'm confused. Quick side note. Ghost Binker Jimmy told us that his grandmother was around for the Birdman thing.
Oh, yeah. No, so hopefully we get some follow-up on how much that guy really got bullied in that town. Although, it sounds like the ages might not exactly line up where she would just be like, oh, that young man saw a bird. What an idiot. I don't know. It's also possible that she'll be like, oh, yeah, we all love making fun of dumbass Birdman, which would be the best case scenario, frankly. So wings fold against his back, not convincing to you because that's not how moths work.
That's not how moths work.
It's just a name.
Yeah.
I encourage you to think of that. So terrified, Roger Scarberry sped off onto a nearby highway. He rounds a curve, and then they spot the creature again up on a hill.
Oh.
This time, it spreads its wings out fully and takes off in the air.
So it was already on the hill when they got there.
They get on the highway, they round a curve on this road, on this highway they're driving down, and they see it on a hill, take off.
Interesting.
Sort of like it's tracking them. Or
second Mothman.
Two Mothman. Sort of the Meg situation.
Sir, a second Mothman has hit the mountain.
The president's reading a book. There's a second Mothman in West Virginia. He has to finish the book while he's thinking about the two Mothmen flying, shrieking around. B. Louise helpfully adds, remember the moment you realize cockroaches can fly. Same energy.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if she knows that, but it's a cute thing to say. In the moment.
So I can admit that I did live a life privileged enough to never really experience a flying cockroach. I have seen cockroaches in real life.
Yeah.
But
yeah, some of them could fly.
One has never flown.
A lot of them can fly, but especially the Asian cockroaches fly.
The big ones, right? The big crunchy ones.
There's the Asian ones fly. I don't know. What do I look like? A cockroach specialist?
They also have the big hissing ones. Or those are the African ones, though, I think?
There's African ones. There's also South American hissing ones, right? I think. Anyway, sorry. B. Louise becomes a millennial for 2 sentences here. So after she says the hissing cockroach fly thing, she says full panic mode activated.
Wait, hold on. I have something for that.
Skeptic mode engaged.
Close enough. I thought it was.
We'll have a good use for that one later.
Okay.
So despite Roger flooring it to over 100 miles an hour,
damn,
teenager driving for sure. This is a white man driving into the
Roger,
backwards.
why don't you leave that detail out?
He's trying to get 2 women killed essentially. The wing monster glides around the back end of the vehicle and it's bumping the roof with its wings, and even according to some reports, leaves scratch marks on the roof.
Ooh. I have a theory for that. Do you want me to wait?
Yeah.
Okay.
Duh. No, spoil it now. Yeah.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. A car going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
There's maybe some lower tree limbs.
You think they drove through some trees?
Some tree limbs.
I have another theory, too, if you want to hear it.
Yeah.
It didn't happen.
Oh.
I think these are liars. But anyway, so they scratch marks on the roof. They're all scared it did. And then according to Linda Scarberry, the creature takes off into a field as they drive into Point Pleasant, into the town.
Okay.
And then rather going straight to the police to report what had happened, the group parks at a local drive-thru to compose themselves before they decide to go back out and kind of see if the monster's still there.
They park at a local drive-thru. Is it a drive-thru or drive-in?
Drive-thru.
Oh, I heard in my head.
No, sorry, drive-thru.
Drive-thru.
They go to get like an animal-style In-N-Out burger.
Yeah. They go to get a Sonic Blast or whatever.
Sorry. Oh, shit. What's a
Blizzard?
What's
DQ Blizzard?
Like do I know any Virginia chains off the top of my head?
Oh.
Rallies? Checkers?
Piggly Wiggly is more Georgia, I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because I know all these like ones you can kind of see in North Carolina. Carl's Jr.
Arby's?
Hardee's. Yeah, I don't know.
We have the meat.
So I was going to say Dunkin' Donuts. I was like, oh no, we're not in Massachusetts.
Yeah, they don't really have that. Oh, but you know what? It's like that woman from the fort, the Maryland fort, where she's like, I had to get a Sprite to calm down.
Yeah. I also just think that in the 60s, it was probably like a regular store a person owned instead of a faceless, horrifying corporation.
A gray square building.
Yeah, or they were playing, Monopoly back at McDonald's, So they were like, okay, no one's going to believe us, so we need proof of this.
Great instinct.
They go back out there, and then they immediately get too scared and go back. Go turn around.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And then they report it to the police.
Oh,
they tell them, and then a local deputy comes out to help them.
Check.
He doesn't find any evidence of the creature except for some inexplicable static disturbances on his radio and some shadows circling from above.
Okay.
Skeptic mode engaged.
I really am starting to get tired of technological failures being blamed on creatures or ghosts, which now I'm gonna regret saying this when I'm the ghost believer guy.
Yeah. It's almost like I did this a long-term plan.
I'm gonna really regret that because I do think that they can control the radio, but
for no reason, by the way. There's been no reason stated why they can do that.
They are energy and they can manipulate.
Are they
the
energy?
I think so.
Okay. Sure. Just get to deposit that.
I'm going to regret this, but
okay.
I think the static thing is a fluke. I think that's just a fluke.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're driving in the woods and shit. It's not surprising to me that... But you'll like this next part because the next day they announce a press conference. They inform the public about the sighting, and it's the press who ultimately bestows the name Mothman, which was inspired by the Batman television series.
Whoa!
So
they were like, all right, Batman's already taken.
Yep, because of Batman. They were like, and then they were looking at Batman. They were like, oh, there's a Mothman guy in the show, which I think is really funny because they were like, can't do Batman because of Batman, but we can do Mothman, even though you can't do Mothman because of Batman.
Both are copyright.
You can't do Mothman because of Batman. But I mean, I don't think either of them are interesting enough to be copyrighted. Can you copyright Batman? I guess now you probably could.
I think you must.
But I feel like you must. I don't know. It's such a simple.
I mean, back then I think copyright was a little different
in the 60s.
But I guess I don't know.
I think Walt Disney would have something to say about that.
When I think of the 60s, I think it was just the Wild West. But I know that's not true.
So there's more to this story. From Linda. Linda Scarberry would go on to report that she witnessed Mothman on several more occasions at her home, beginning about 1 month after the infamous car chase. Compared to her first encounter with the monster, these new sightings were anticlimactic. According to Linda, she spotted the creature perched on the roof outside her bedroom window at night, wings folded around its body as if to keep warm in the freezing night air. She no longer felt threatened, but was too afraid to try and make contact with it as it peered curiously at her through the window.
Oh, okay. So Mothman is friend?
Yeah, they would see him on the roof 3 more times in the summer of 1967, and it made them very anxious, obviously, but Linda shared that she thought it didn't have evil intentions. She says it could have physically harmed or even killed her or anyone else, but it didn't. Although she doesn't know that it didn't do that, I guess. It just didn't kill them, obviously.
Yeah. But, pretending the story is real.
Yeah.
It followed them home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you think...
He was going to murder their ass.
Do you think maybe, they when they went to go get McDonald's, they left, some fries out in the field by accident?
And he's like, this Carl's Jr. shit is incredible.
And he was like, oh, wow. And it's like how you domesticate, a wolf. It's just you give them food, and then Mothman is now like, I'm going to go home with them.
He's, holding up a curly fry and going trying to eat it with his proboscis and freaking out, Yeah, shout out the Carl's Jr.
I really like the thought of Mothman trying to eat a burger or some fries or something.
It's possible. We got one more.
Oh, he's sipping the soda with his little proboscis.
That's a great idea. Do moths have proboscis?
I think so.
All right,
They're like butterflies.
Let's get into another sighting then.
Okay.
There's one more. This is around the same time of the world in its existence. 1966, 67. Yeah.
Okay.
Another sighting. This is actually from a different site. This is from American Hauntings.
Oh, I know that.
There's no author provided on this article.
Yeah, a lot of times there's not.
Another sighting had more bizarre results. At about 10:30 on that same evening, Newell Partridge, a local building contractor who lived in Salem, about 90 miles from Point Pleasant, so kind of far away. I guess less far if you're like
Salem, Massachusetts?
No.
Oh.
Salem, West Virginia.
Oh.
I guess 90 miles from Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
Okay.
He was watching television when the screen suddenly went dark. He stated that a weird pattern filled the screen, and then he heard loud whining sounds from outside that raised in pitch and then ceased. It sounded like a generator winding up, he later stated. Partridge's dog... Partridges. I guess it's just weird to say.
Yeah.
Partridge's dog, Bandit, began to howl in the French port. French port?
The French port.
The front porch.
That's Louisiana.
The front porch. That's hard to say.
Oh my God, the brain melt has... You've caught the brain melt.
The front porch. I don't say shit like porch. And Newell went out to see what was going on. When he walked outside, he saw Bandit facing the hay barn about 150 yards from his house. I will say that white people famously really scared when dogs look at stuff.
Yeah.
If an animal looks at something, white people think it's a demon every time.
Well, because dogs have senses that we do not.
I'm gonna shoot myself in the head with a gun.
Oh, fuck, I forgot to get the gun sound effect.
The sense they have is smelling each other's assholes. It's like a dog asshole specific scent.
Well, that's one of them. That's one of
the one thing they can see is when there's a dog whose asshole they want to smell nearby. They can't see demons. Puzzled, Partridge turned a flashlight in that direction and spotted two red circles that looked like eyes or bicycle reflectors.
Oh.
It was two bicycles. The moving red orbs were certainly not animals' eyes, he believed, and the sight of them frightened him. Bandit, an experienced hunting dog and protective of his territory, shot off across the yard in pursuit of the glowing eyes. Partridge called for him to stop, but the animal paid no attention. Badly trained, bad owner. Bad training, bad owner. No matter what Mothman's doing, your dog should heel when you call him.
You need the little clicker training. Yeah. You gotta do clicker training.
Yeah. His owner turned and went back into the house for his gun, but then was too scared to go back outside again.
Dog, you have a gun. Go out there. Gun owners are so excited to use their gun. This is your chance to use it, dog.
This guy's literally the cops at Uvalde. When children are getting shot, he's just like, nah, I'll stay in my car. It's scary in there.
Did you know they got guns in there?
I also just think that, like, when I was a kid, I was told that you, like, can't be scared. Like, I would be scared at night. Mom would be like, you can't be scared. Like, you got to be brave. Mm-hmm. And then I became an adult, and everyone is a fucking coward all the time. Everyone is so afraid of their own shadow. Yeah. You heard about a Mothman, and you're too afraid to go outside because a big, giant, flying moth beast. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's not real.
Mothman doesn't have a gun.
A bear is eating your dog, you moron. Shoot it. Anyway.
Also, I will say, though, bravery is the act... What did Nelson Mandela say? Bravery is acting despite your fear.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't say bravery is the act of being too afraid to act on your fear. It's still kind of brave.
Yeah.
Bravery is beating the shit out of white British people who settled your country for no reason, all right? So he was too scared to go back outside again. He slept that night with his gun propped up next to his bed. The next morning, he realized that Bandit had disappeared. The dog had still not showed up 2 days later when Partridge read in the newspaper about the sightings in Point Pleasant that night.
Bandit.
A bandit was never seen again.
Oh, my God.
And so he was like, oh, that fucking Mothman killed my dog. Because a bear ate this guy's dog.
I was going to say, I mean, something happened to Bandit, and it's because the guy didn't use his gun when he should have.
And then there's this weird thing that they connect with it. I mentioned the end of the Mothman sightings in West Virginia was the Silver Bridge collapse.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Resulted in 46 deaths and 9 injuries. And the collapse, though the collapse is believed to have occurred because of a failed eye-bar joint in weld, there were some witnesses who reported seeing a figure resembling Mothman on or near the bridge at the time of the collapse.
Plot twist, Mothman was actually doing a bridge inspection and he realized that there was an issue.
The shrieking was him being like, the girders, the I-beams are fucked up.
But no one speaks Moth, so they didn't know.
He's shrieking and he's like, why doesn't no one understand? I'm saying the I-bar joint and weld is fucked up.
And then it collapses and he's like, oh no!
So one, really embarrassing to have 46 people die and be like, it was the scary moth monster.
That is actually really crazy.
The other thing that happened is that the Mothman sighting stopped overnight after the collapse, basically. Like, that happened, the bridge killed a bunch of people, and they just stopped talking about Mothman after that.
They're like, Mothman went too far this time.
I like to think that they had, like, actual shit to worry about now. Instead of pretending that there was a Mothman running around, they had to fix a bridge that collapsed and killed people.
That, or they ran him out of town.
Yeah, and then, like, this guy, John Keel, writes a book called The Mothman Prophecies. And it becomes a movie with like Richard Gere and stuff, but it's the connection of like Mothman and the bridge, which is again not really appropriate.
That is,
I would say.
Yeah, it's like the classic case of like, this is a real tragedy. I think we could leave the pretend games to a different situation.
No, Mothman made the bridge fall down. All right, well, let's leave West Virginia behind. We'll come back there a little bit later to be Louise and some ideas of where Mothman might have came from.
Okay.
But in the meantime, since the Mothman excursion has died down, the world was yearning for another Mothman. And so we had a little bit of another Mothman in Chicago.
Really?
Chicago, Illinois. So there's a Chicago Mothman, and he's a Mothman in Chicago, basically, is kind of the whole premise. There's really not much else to it other than that.
Is he a Mothman wearing like a Trilby hat?
Yeah, he's got a Trilby and a Cubs jacket on.
He's got a deep dish pizza.
Yeah. No, he's got a deep dish pizza. He has the sky. No, that's Cincinnati. What else is in Chicago?
It's windy, so it's hard for him to fly. He actually walks around.
Yeah, he every night he comes out of the ivy of Wrigley Field and flies away. Let's get into some Chicago sightings, shall we?
Oh, hell yeah.
This is an anonymous witness, dated August 21st, 2017. This is
2017?
2017. We are in modern territory. Yeah, this is all like the past 5 years, basically. Or 8 years now, I guess, now that I said it out loud.
Oh, people are... Oh, no. It's further away than I thought.
Old. I didn't even have my master's degree.
I thought you were getting ready to sing "Oh, Canada" for some reason.
Oh, Chicago. The pipes are calling. I don't know how Canada goes.
Yeah, it was close.
I think that was the Danny Boy at the end, but something like that. This is from, I guess it's originally from Phantoms and Monsters, which we'll read more of later.
Okay.
But this is also on Northerly Island, which is apparently an island.
Northerly
Island.
Okay.
Northerly Island. And it was during a solar eclipse, which is a spooky time. It's a transitional time. It's a waxing and waning of the boundary between man and death.
You think Mothman has been waiting for the
I think
eclipse
he came out of the eclipse.
Years?
I think he was
eclipse.
trapped in the moon, and the eclipse lets him fly out. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's cool. Now that I've said it, it's pretty cool.
That sounds like the start of a movie.
All right, here we go. As reported to the Phantoms and Monsters website, which reported to the police or something. We were watching and observing as the moon began its transit when we heard a very loud scream. This sounded like those squeaky truck brakes that squeal when you're pressing hard on them.
Okay.
At first, we thought that's what it was. Maybe a CTA bus or big truck with brakes that needed changing or maintenance. I love whenever someone in a city has to mention their city.
Yeah.
I heard a scary demon in Rhode Island. It sounded just like the Ripta bus, and I thought maybe it was the carousel outside of Roger Williams Park screaming. It's like
You gotta make sure people know that you know where you're from.
If this Chicago guy mentions that stupid fucking concrete beach, I'm closing the article. We heard it again. This time it lasted about 3 seconds, whereas the previous sound was brief. I looked up to see a large object flying low over the docks that stick out into Burnham Harbor from across the water. I assume that's the beach.
Yeah.
The object looked like a large black bat, but also had humanoid features such as pronounced arms and legs. He's dangling.
He also said it looked like a bat.
A large black bat. I realize I have to talk into the microphone.
This is Man Bat from Batman.
This is Man Bat, possibly. Well, it could be that this is a different kind of guy. We're connecting to Mothman, but it could be a whole new creature. This witness has a full legal name here, Aaron Drain.
Oh.
August 2017, so we're same time period.
Yep.
This is West Town neighborhood in Chicago.
Okay.
Possibly close. Don't know. Don't care. Chicago people, mind your business.
Sorry, Chicago.
I was spending the afternoon on a rooftop, and I saw something in the sky fairly high up and fairly far away. It wasn't being buffeted by the wind. It was moving slowly, but not randomly. That's the whole thing.
That's what?
That's the Mothman.
What?
Every story is like this, by the way. This is what every ghost story sounds like to me. Witness, Jeff, in quotations for those of you at home.
Okay.
So a pseudonym, perhaps? If it is, why expose that. Just put Jeff. Anyway.
You don't need the quotes, Jeff.
This is a month later, October 26th, 2017. So getting close to Halloween here, fellas.
Ooh, spooky.
This is Fulton Market Street near the corner of Morgan. Again, why does everyone in Chicago talk like this? At first, I thought it was a bird, but none I'd seen before because it was just so huge and the way it was flapping its wings. The longer I watched, it was like, what the hell is that thing? It was freaky. Ooh. Yeah, every Chicago Mothman story has been kind of boring so far.
Well, the thing is, this is another classic case of, I think I saw a bird. That can't be a bird. I've never seen a bird that looked like that before.
We'll get into that even more later, but yes, I think your instinct is probably right.
It's just like, I had never seen...
I will say that when someone sees a ghost and they're like, I saw a shadow demon in a room with a bunch of shadows in it, you're not like, oh, it must have been a shadow. You're like, wow, the shadow demon was real.
Yeah.
It was so scary to be a shadow demon. This, at least, it's more likely a fucked up bird's flying around that's actually a Mothman than it is a shadow ghoul.
Mm-hmm.
I'll read you a better encounter then.
Oh, okay.
Since you want the heat, you want the real fucking heat from Chicago?
I want some heat.
Well, 2 years later, 2019... We're in Donald Trump's third year of presidency, and this is what is going on in Chicago. We hadn't had COVID-19 yet. It was just starting to percolate through the United States.
Oh, no.
There's rumors about it or something. On Friday, October 5th, 2019, around 10 p.m., my 17-year-old son and I were driving through Richmond, Illinois. He wanted to stop at McDonald's, so we took the back roads home. We live in Wisconsin near the border. Again, the details. While en route 173 and Broadway. I believe it was Broadway. God fucking damn it. I don't care where you were. The directions are confusing to me. Jesus Christ.
Thanks for the extra details.
We went past Broadway to the stupid fucking concrete beach we all sit on. We both saw something very tall, around 6 to 7 feet, hunched over and looking at us with the brightest red eyes we've ever seen. It appeared to be floating or hopping. By the way,
floating or hopping?
Hopping feels like a bird to me. Not to pre-Bink. Hopping feels like I feel like birds hop around because they got weird ass fucked up legs.
7-foot bird though?
Well, hold on. Well, don't hold on. I guess if you want to talk about it now, we can, because we're going to get that later. We're going to talk about how that could be later. But I don't think people can accurately tell how.
Also, are we sure? I think this is like our 6th mention now. Are we sure it's not just Victor Wembanyama?
That's a great point.
And he maybe was high and his eyes were red.
That's a great point. The creature played excellent defense and could shoot threes. So that does sound like Victor Wembanyama.
Also, now that I think about it, though, he was probably like
15. We're old and dying, so he was 12 years old.
No.
He was probably 15 at this time.
This took place while we were possibly on the old podcast.
I was like 27. I had a full-time job.
Talking about how COVID is just going to be the next failed Ebola.
Yeah, I was like, boy, I hope I get into graduate school. I hope I waste 2 years of my life at $140,000, and then I did.
Oof.
Cool. So it's floating or hopping. It was very dark, so they couldn't make out many details, but it didn't resemble any animal they'd seen before. The classic.
Okay.
When we get home, I start searching online for animals and stumbled upon the Mothman myth. I'm unsure of what we saw, but it was definitely unusual. We frequently take this road, but only driven it at night a few times, and had never encountered anything like this before. The creature was about 10 to 20 feet from our car, and my son was panicking, urging me to keep driving, so we didn't stop. What a coward.
Oh yeah, kids have
He's 17, dude.
Oh,
he's 17.
The kid is 17.
He was like, "Mom, get home. I have to jack off. I'm really horny." Yeah, that's what 17-year-olds do.
Yeah.
He was 17, so no excuses
never
here,
mind.
bud.
Yeah.
Toughen up. Get out and kill that thing for your mother.
Yeah.
You coward. Protect your mom.
Break its neck.
Our family thinks we're crazy and jokes that we saw a zombie, which is why I prefer to stay anonymous. I was looking to see if they revealed her full name and address, because that'd be funny. I came across your information and felt compelled to share. We didn't notice any wings, but it was too dark to tell. Both of us thought it was hopping like a kangaroo.
Ooh.
And now I'm curious if there's other unusual sightings.
I actually have a theory that I think people might not be thinking about.
It never took flight, by the way.
It never took flight. Yeah.
Their version.
Yeah, this is my theory. I think it's Sasquatch.
Oh. That doesn't make any sense. Sasquatch is so much more powerful and strong. This is actually really sad, so I really wish I hadn't scrolled down to read this.
No.
So he gets a follow-up from the woman he calls Mo. She by the way didn't know about like the Chicago Mothman thing when she posted talked to him originally.
Okay.
And she says, "Good afternoon. I reached out about 6 years ago with an unusual sighting. I sent a couple of Facebook messages because you asked me to keep you updated if anything negative occurred. Not sure if it's related, but she says the past 7 or 8 years have been tough. Since we last spoke, our house has experienced a lot of paranormal activity. We've all felt heavy energy, and my son, who was with me during the sighting, has attempted suicide. Oof. I'm now divorced, although we had a great marriage before this. Financial struggles have forced me to skip meals so I could feed my kids.
Oh no.
A year ago, a young man, my son's friend who lived with us, passed away. Both my son and I have many unexplained experiences and unexplained marks on our bodies. There have been a lot of negativity surrounding us since that incident.
This is
about 2 years ago. My lab had to be put down after a severe incident involving my ex-fiance. This took a toll on me. My personality changed. I became withdrawn and depressed.
Oh wow,
this is really sad.
It's really sad, and this is feeling like the Marisa situation where like all this bad stuff is happening, and you think it's because of this thing. Yeah, and then it's almost like self-feeding cycle because you're like expecting something else bad to happen.
Yeah, I mean, look, those are very tough circumstances. They have nothing to do. Even if you saw Mothman. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't kill people. He's very chill, famously.
He seems like a nice guy.
He just likes to yell and hop a little bit.
He just wants his next DQ Blizzard.
So I'm sorry to hear about Mo's life.
Yeah, that's really
full
sad.
Disclosure, did not read that part until just now.
Oh no.
I had to read it on air for the first time. So that is tough. I was like, oh, the funny story. Oh, the Chicago Mothman, maybe pizza. And then she was like, anyway, after the attempted suicide of my son, who I love. That's tough. Okay, well let's lighten the mood, huh?
Yeah.
Let's get to Massachusetts.
Whoa, Mothman came to Massachusetts?
The Massachusetts Mothman. There's a I believe it is a podcast or website kind of conglomeration.
Ooh.
They are called Spooky Appalachia.
Oh, okay. I think I've heard of them.
They shared this account. They really just shared the account, so I'm going to read their words, but from the article, but it's not technically their words because it was provided by the Mothman Museum.
Okay.
If that's helpful.
There's a Mothman museum.
So the town in West Virginia, Point Pleasant or whatever, loves Mothman. They got a statue of him. They got museums. They love that motherfucker. Everything that Gloucester couldn't do for the sea serpent, that town has done for Mothman. They fucking love. They have a festival every year. They love Mothman out there.
Whoa.
Because he's the sickest motherfucker alive. So they love him, yeah.
Bink Squad, pay for the Patreon. So we can go to
Mothman we got to do the festival. Yeah, also, I will say that...
we also don't have our Patreon yet, but tell us you would.
But this is the first time I've ever said this. One-time waiver for business interests. You have a Mothman festival, you get to have a business. That's fun.
I'll let it slide.
I don't care. Yeah, fuck it. Sell me some shit. That's fun. Yeah. I want a Mothman sweater. I don't give a fuck about this one. Lie to me for money.
I assume at Mothman Festival they're not saying Mothman is real. They're just celebrating like the legend.
Oh no, they're looking for him. They're celebrating the legend. They're doing everything.
Wow.
I think there's probably people who think he's fake, people who think he's real. I bet it's a mess in the best way.
I mean, it does sound like a lot of fun.
I think you got to believe he's real too if he's like your town's guy.
That's fair.
We got shooters for.
He put their town on the map.
Yeah, you think Squonk's town doesn't believe in him? They back him up.
I actually don't even know where Squonk is from.
I don't think he does. I'm gonna type in what town is Squonk from and just see what comes up. How do you spell Squonk?
Squonk. And he's a sad little guy who cries himself into a puddle if you see him. I think he thinks he's really ugly.
Johnstown, Pennsylvania.
We probably were close.
Squonk's a Phillies fan.
Wait, Squonk is a 76ers fan. That's why he's crying all the time.
Squonk busting a crazy cross step on me like Iverson, just breaking my ankles in the dust.
Me and Squonk are crying all the time because the Sixers keep squandering their potential.
Squonk watches Joel Embiid's knees explode and it tears up, but this is from Spooky Appalachia, provided by the Mothman Museum, apparently. And this takes place in Mattapan Square in Massachusetts. Also, like Chicago, although Chicago seemed a little woodsy, the areas that were... Mattapan Square is like kind of a city.
It's like...
Yeah, we're in like city territory.
I don't even see a single... I close my eye. I've been there a lot. Yeah. I close my eyes. There's not a single tree anywhere.
Yeah, my mom thinks it's Boston if she's there. She's like, this is Boston. I'm scared.
Yeah.
It's scary. Mattapan's not the greatest place on earth, but it's a city. Mm-hmm. And this is in May 2012. So Carly Rae Jepsen...
Yeah,
is out and in full force. He was listening to somebody I used to know on the radio.
May 2012, we were literally walking across the high school graduation
as this was happening.
Stage.
And again, like somebody I used to know was on the radio in the car for this one for sure.
That song is about Mothman.
You didn't have to have red eyes. Make out like never happened and then fly away, yeah.
You didn't have to break the bridge.
Use the TNT you got from the old factory now. I didn't even connect that. That's how Mothman blew up the bridge.
Shit.
He got the TNT from the old part of town.
Mothman did it.
Mothman is literally the Unabomber. Yeah, I mean, that's honestly, what I just said is really convincing to me for some reason. I think Mothman absconded with some TNT from the old weapons factory and blew up the bridge.
And then he went off into the moon, never to be seen again.
No, and then he hid in the moon until
2017.
2017. I think Mothman is a domestic terrorist sleeper cell.
Holy shit.
Well, he might have been seen in 2012 here as well.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So maybe there was an early eclipse. There's also, it's one of those things where they're like, oh, eclipses happen once every 300 years, and then one happens every like 3 months.
Yeah, it's just like your area is going to get one.
It's some fucking bullshit. Yeah, I don't know. It's the same thing as cicadas. It's like, oh, it's a 17-year cicada, and then every year those fuckers are screaming
That's
at me.
because they're staggered.
Fuck off. Fuck you. So this is unnamed man. My girlfriend and I witnessed an unexplained object or creature on the roof of a building in Mattapan Square back in May of 2012. Okay. We worked for her dad's security company, and in May we had the night shift at a construction site on Blue Hill Avenue. I'd been sitting in her car for a while, and we just got into an argument.
Oh, no.
Mothman makes people hate each other.
I know.
Sounds like. I decided to get in my own van to get away from her for a while. I did not read this closely enough. This is really insane. So as I was surfing the web on my cell phone, I feel like they got in a fight about the cell phone. I feel like he was cheating on her or something.
Or you think she found his porn
something
stash
like
or something?
that. It feels a little bit like that. I noticed something moving on the roof of the building next to the job site. Oh. As I looked up, I saw a fairly large shadowy figure walking or gliding along the rooftop. As I'm peering out my window at it, it stops and turns towards our cars.
And it goes...
Yeah, I read that and my brain turned off. The best way I can describe it is it looked almost identical to the sketch the teenagers drew after the first sighting of the Mothman in Point Pleasant.
Oh.
This guy's a Mothman head. It had what looked to be large, feathery wings and 2 almond golden eyes. I know that's not the typical Mothman description, but I don't know what else it could have been. After about 3 to 5 minutes of sitting there, I jumped off the roof, flying in the air toward Quincy and Braintree.
Man saw his very first eagle.
He saw a big owl.
He saw an eagle for the first time. I was
shut
like,
up.
What is it?
I watched it fly for about 5 minutes before it was out of sight. The object or creature flew in odd patterns, dipping and flying side to side. He saw his first bird fly. Also, because a lot of birds don't fly in a straight line.
Yeah,
You've never seen it before because you don't look. They're wobbly motherfuckers. They look like shit, but they get around. The only way I saw it was that it was illuminated in a golden bright light. I couldn't tell if it was the moon's reflection or if it was generating its own light, but I only got a look of it in the dark. I didn't really process that sentence fully. This thing might have been emitting an aura.
I think I also didn't realize this was a nighttime one. So
I said that.
It is an owl.
This time I did say that.
It is an owl.
I said we had the night shift at a construction site.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I hear stories of UFO, Bigfoots, ghosts, demons, and ask myself if they can all be real or maybe just some. That's how the sentence ends. I don't know. I believe that we have only scratched the surface of reality, and the truth is sometimes stranger than fiction. I don't know why he says that at the end.
The truth is often stranger.
I'm going to read
than
this
fiction?
again. I'm going to read this again with a typo. That might be me copying it wrong, but I don't care.
Okay.
I hear stories of UFO, Bigfoot, ghosts, and demons, and ask myself, can they all be real, or maybe just some? I believe that we. Oh, this guy has like a high school education at the most, because I just read that and realized what he was trying to say. He was trying to say, are they all real, or just some of them are real?
Oh, okay.
I ask myself, can they all be real, or maybe just some?
Oh,
sick. Brackets of them are real also. I believe that we've only just scratched the surface of reality, and the truth is sometimes stranger than fiction. Why you, random nighttime security guard in Mattapan, do you believe that we have just only scratched the surface of reality? What gall do you have to think we've only scratched the surface of reality? I live on this planet every day. I know reality, motherfucker.
Buddy just got in a fight with his girlfriend over porn.
Yeah, and he's smoking pot. He's high as shit at his boring-ass security job, yelling at his girlfriend. And he's like, well, we only just found out what's out there. You can't even recognize what an owl looks like, you dumb bitch. Shut up. I hate this guy.
I do. I think it was probably an owl.
Yeah, I mean, also, like, the yellow eyes feels like an owl to me.
Yeah.
Because Mothman has red eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get into the evidence of why cryptids are real and how important it is that Mothman be preserved as a real guy, let's go over some of B. Louise's suggested theories for what Mothman could be.
Oh.
You ready?
Should I engage skeptic mode?
Yeah. Skeptic mode engaged. Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
Theory 1. A government experiment gone wrong.
Oh boy.
So, during World War II, West Virginia Ordnance Works operated as an ammunition (TNT) plant, with its peak production occurring between 1942 and 1945, employing over 3,500 people. which was a lot back then.
Yeah.
We had different population stuff.
But also, like, Virginia does have, like, typically a smaller population as well.
Yeah, and I also feel like that they had, like, you got, like, coal mines out there, so you need the TNT to blow shit up anyway, so you might as well make it into bombs for a couple months. It was near this abandoned plant and the surrounding explosive storage bunkers about 7 miles outside of Point Pleasant that the first Mothman sighting occurred, and this is believed to be its home.
Oh.
A veil of secrecy shrouded the facility during its time in operation. This is an archived report from the Point Pleasant Daily Register on October 7, 1942. It stated,
The West Virginia Ordnance Works here is planning a colorful celebration for Monday, October 12th, when the gigantic project's official flag raising takes place. It is understood, however, that only employees will attend. The crowd, of course, will run into thousands upon thousands, including workers for the General Chemical Defense Corps and those working for the numerous contractors and subcontractors. The affair will take place in the administrative area of the plant. Although the necessity for secrecy forbids most of the details, it is known that the Gallipolis High School Band will furnish the music.
That doesn't really sound all that.
it doesn't even sound that not secretive, honestly.
Conspiracy,
They were like, any employee can come.
They're
You just
telling
can't be a
people it's
stranger.
happening. They're just like, you can't come. It's not for the public. You can know about it. But
Yeah. It's very
I photograph events like that all the time. That's not that weird.
Also says it's probably safe to assume that the secrecy surrounding the plant's operations is justified given the fact that it's manufacturing weapons for a war.
Yeah.
But many speculators can't help but wonder if there was something more going on in the facility. Perhaps a shadow government performing secret experiments which would ultimately result in a kind of mutant, some kind that would be known as the Mothman, which is just like very funny to be like, it's probably this, but what if it was a devil making the demons of hell formed in the fires of brimstone? Like, so, I mean, it's possible that instead of a weapons plant, they were making a real weapon. Mothman.
Maybe they were trying to make...
Can you imagine? Sorry, go ahead. I cut you off hard.
Maybe they were trying to make the Hulk, and then a moth flew into the experiment.
Yes, and they electroshocked them into one guy. Yeah. I was gonna say that. Imagine you're like a Nazi, and you're like, "Oh, we are winning the war. We are so winning today." And then you look up, and you just hear like, "Bah!" And the fucking Mothman just rips your head off, and you're like, hands no.
Mothman super soldier,
and he's just shrieking and ripping Nazis in half. Shout out to Mothman.
Honestly, that's kind of scary.
Yeah. He's diving up in the air 500 feet with them and throwing them into his lunar eclipse prison,
He's trapping them in the piss dimension.
In the fucking moon. Hell yeah. All right. Well, that wasn't convincing to you, despite the cool thing I imagined at the end there. I got to write this shit down when I say it out loud. It's a sick-ass idea.
Well, you can listen to the episode and write it down when you hear it again.
That's it. Would never do that. No, I'm just kidding. I listen to every episode to make sure that I don't sound annoying to strangers. Better theory. Mothman is a visitor from outer space.
Oh, alien Mothman.
Yeah, because accompanying the Mothman sightings in 1960 was 1965. Accompanying them in the 1960s was a slew of UFO sightings and reports of mutilated pets and livestock in Mason County, where Point Pleasant is located.
And that's not because of the uptick in psychedelic use and cults.
You think hippies just kill fucking pigs or whatever?
Well, the cult part.
I think it's a bunch of poorly trained dogs running around who don't listen when you come.
That's also...
And guys too afraid to shoot.
Possible. Oh my God, maybe it was Bandit. Bandit was killing all the livestock.
Bandit's running a fucking wild dog gang.
He's out there living his best life.
So, just a few weeks before the onset of the Mothman sightings, citizens reported seeing bright lights in the skies above Point Pleasant that moved sporadically and at impossible speeds, even by today's standards. I don't believe that sentence, for the record. That it was impossible by today's standards. I don't believe that at all.
Well, how could you even compare?
They can't. Well, one, they don't know it's possible, and two, I don't believe that if we could somehow know the speed, it would be impossible for today's standards. Because I think it was probably a plane.
Oh my God! I was looking over there, and the light was on, and then it turned off, and I looked over there, and the light was on, and
yeah,
there's something called the speed of light.
But this is really funny. I'm gonna read this shit because it's a crazy guy.
Okay.
I love aliens because they bring out fucking people who just say shit that's insane. And truly, like, if I ever say this, you have to like push me off a bridge.
Oh no!
And just let the world take care of me. No, it's just really. I think it's really cool. I would kind of not tell anyone this if it happened to me.
Oh.
If an alien abducted me, I wouldn't tell anyone because it's embarrassing to say out loud, and I I can't do it. So this is prior to the first Mothman sighting.
Yep.
And we're with Mr. Woodrow Derenberger.
Derenberger.
He's a 50-year-old sewing machine salesman and family man. He's not a sewing machine family, but he is a family man. Woodrow claimed that he was driving home one night when he was stopped by a vehicle with bright headlights that was hovering just above the ground. According to Woodrow, an alien-like being emerged from the vehicle and spoke to Woodrow telepathically, leaving him with the parting words, "We'll be speaking again."
Oh.
We'll be speaking again. I'm doing fancy little fingers in my
We'll
head.
be speaking again, Darren Berger.
I must come upon this sewing machine. It is very interesting to me, as our alien race does not wear clothes. This being from a recounted event, who Woodrow referred to as an extraterrestrial named Cold.
Cold?
And in some reports, he called him Indrid Cold.
Indrid Cold.
He was said never to break his smile, and he spoke telepathically and had no need to move his mouth. He became later known as the Grinning Man.
Oh.
In the following days, Woodrow claimed that Cold would contact him regularly via telepathy, even when he wasn't around. Cold would even go on to share with Woodrow the name of his home planet, Lonulos.
Wow.
Woodrow emphasized that the alien being never came with good news. He was like, yeah, Cold is a fucking killjoy.
The man is always showing up. Well, the alien is always showing up smiling, and he's like, "Bad news again,
Also,
Darren Berger. Your dog is going to die."
No, he shows up and he's like, Lonulos was attacked by the Glormbons, and Woodrow's like, oh, what a fucking killjoy. Okay, man, I get it. My wife was ripped in half by the Glombjorn general.
Darren Berger's just having a rough day, and then the smiling man shows up and he's like, "If you think you've got it rough, imagine what happened to my parents the day after I was born."
Yeah, and then it goes on to say that like he was considered crazy, but he wrote a memoir, and they're like, yeah, maybe it's true. I think he's insane. That's nuts, man.
I guess I would be curious to know if he was using any drugs at the time.
I was gonna say it sort of sounds like someone who's like hammered or met a state trooper. I was like, that guy would not stop smiling. Yeah. So again, I know you're not an alien person, so I've got a better one for you here.
I'm not an alien person?
I don't think so.
Well,
you didn't seem to be that into
I
them.
mean,
this time and the last time.
Yeah. I do believe they exist in the universe somewhere. I just don't think they're here.
Yeah, I don't believe that either.
I don't think they're
I think
here.
the universe sucks so bad they're not even out there anymore.
Oh man.
That's how alone we are.
Oh man.
The third theory, a supernatural omen or curse. So,
okay.
Isn't it mysterious that the sightings halted following the collapse of the Silver Bridge?
This is Mothman slander.
Well,
I guess
some people said that Mothman was a domestic terrorist who lives on the moon and blew up something with old TNT from a factory.
We did kind of reverse engineer that theory.
I did what like FBI agents do in actual murder cases to pin it on some random guy who like helps some guy who discovered the bomb and helped solve the crime and save lives. And then we're like, he must have done it. That's where he got the bomb. So people saw the Mothman at the bridge collapse, and they thought it was him who did it. But others concluded, I whistled there. Others concluded that the cryptid must have been a harbinger of sorts who appeared to warn the town of the impending doom.
Oh, okay. That's like what we were saying. He was trying to tell them about the I-beam.
He was shrieking about weld joints. Mothman has since been tied to a second bridge collapse.
What?
That occurred in August 2007 in Minneapolis, Minnesota on I-35. Why do we keep saying the names of roads? But I-35, Minneapolis, Minnesota, bridge collapses. There had been sightings beforehand of Mothman-like creature for about a month prior.
Oh.
And in the town of Chernobyl, near the nuclear plant, people also reported a Mothman.
He's going all over Mothman International?
Isn't that interesting? Also, no one's ever corroborated any of those reports. No reports have ever been found of anyone actually reporting it. It's just like
of the Chernobyl one or the second bridge.
Any of them that I said just now. Yeah, kind of all of them, to be honest. Literally everything I just said, basically.
Man.
But no, it's real and important. It's also there's like the classic because we're America. It's also like a Native American demon.
Oh, okay.
First Nations people had a fucking Mothman type guy.
That's
not really, but they had like a legend of like monsters, and so they were just like, oh, it's
tapping into my Native American heritage, am intrigued by all sorts of folklore and mythology. I do also think it's that. I think it's folklore and mythology. I don't think it's necessarily...
Yeah, there's not really a good reason to connect the Mothman to the Native American stuff, though. They don't have... Like, Thunderbird, they have a Thunderbird mythology. Right. Mothman, they're just kind of connecting it to, like, a curse that was placed in the area on near Point Pleasant as the idea of, like, oh, it summoned a Mothman. But they don't really, like... The Native Americans maybe didn't place a Mothman summoning curse. We don't know the kind of curse. So if they were like, oh, we'll do a Mothman one on this guy, like that feels like we need some evidence of that. So those are the, what would I call it? the real explanations for Mothman.
Yeah.
Let's get into the sort of like fake, hokey bullshit explanations for Mothman. This is
Were
from...
those not the fake hokey ones?
No, those are all real. All of them are actually real at the same time. Let's get into this loser named Joe Nickel from Skeptical Inquirer.
Okay.
We actually met him before. I don't know if you remember the name. He was called a landlubber for saying that Gloucester doesn't have a giant sea serpent that's haunting a town and killing sailors.
Yeah, we agreed with him on that episode.
We agree with him actually all the time. I'm doing what I call a long-term bit where I pretend like we hate him, but we love him. He pays attention and read books and explores things and tries to solve them. So one of the things he brings up first is that like there's this idea that it might have just been a prank.
Okay.
There's people who have come forward and said like, I was Mothman. I put on the costume and jumped around. But he kind of is, he's like looking into it and he's like, I don't really think this is credible because people are seeing it in cars and then there's a bunch of people who claim they were the one doing this. He's like, so I don't think there's like 20 guys having the Mothman idea for a year.
And
like,
people said that he was flying.
Yeah, like he mentions like there's a bunch of stuff like also the glowing red eyes. Like I don't think a prankster is gonna think of that necessarily or like do it effectively. But you know there were like hoaxes, and he mentioned some of the confirmed hoaxes. Construction workers would like use helium from tanks to make balloons of like sheet plastic. And they tie red flashlights to them and like float them up in the air and stuff.
That's fun.
Obviously, they'd waited; they wouldn't soar high; they just kind of drift over the treetops a little bit. And then like UFO reports, he mentions them as a hoax after the Mothman thing, which is funny because earlier they said it was before. Yeah, it sounds like it might have been after the Mothman. People started seeing the UFOs, and then it kind of like I said, it kind of ties back. People are like, oh, it's before Mothman, and it was like actually wasn't before. It was just
Yeah.
Sorry. The Joe Nickel articles are so well done and so like carefully constructed that it gets boring because I'm just reading you a smart person's ideas of things. And then there's the final one hoax is there was a private plane. Like a pilot who was like a prankster, and he would like fly across the river with the engine off. But one day he like fucking came too close to a hill, and he had to pop the engine back on to get over the hill. And so like people reported like, suddenly you can hear the engine of the plane kick on. So
screeching sound.
I just think it was like, they heard the plane whistling and flying around, and they're like, oh my god, Mothman. And then one day the engine popped on, they're like, it's an asshole in a plane, because he had to fucking not die.
They heard the sputtering of the engine.
It was more important to him to not die or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he mentions the famous titular Mothman sighting of the it's not titular, but the Mothman sighting of the man-shaped creature driving through the TNT area with glowing red eyes. They said it squeaked like a big mouse. Which also, I guess if you haven't heard a rodent, they can be pretty loud and pretty shrieky.
Okay.
Like my guinea pigs are little guys, but they can like they can do some shit that fucking wakes you up. They can wake you up in the morning. And then they have glowing eyes, right? One of the people, though, Linda Scarberry, mentioned specifically that there was no glowing from the eyes until the lights hit it.
Which is a nocturnal animal thing.
Yeah. And then the other guy said, he saw the red eyes when he aimed his flashlight at it. So, Joe Nickel points out that that's a pretty revealing fact. As you've already mentioned, specifically, birds' eyes shine red at night when a beam hits them. Do you know why?
Like an owl. It's because of the way their eyes are able to see in the dark. It's some sort of membrane or something.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a vascular membrane. It's called the tapetum. It's a translucent. There's like a translucent pigment in it on the surface of the retina. Yeah. And it kind of like it shines through, almost like if you hold a flashlight up to your skin, that like red glow. They have a really thin membrane, and that's the red of it is it bouncing off of their eyes back into back through the membrane.
Yeah. Okay.
So it makes it glow red. It's not like their iris or anything.
Yeah.
It also explains why that got the Mothman account in Massachusetts was the yellow eyes, because there was no flashlight on or anything. He just saw a big bird with yellow eyes.
Yeah. Or also it could be like similar to how like cats' eyes reflect light. You're not shining light on them, but you still like at a certain angle. They like.
Yeah, and it sounds like there was some weird light source stuff happening in that Massachusetts account because he was like always glowing, like it had an aura.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this before. Like Joe does not fuck around. Joe got the fuck out to the TNT area.
He went there.
Joe goes there. He goes there in like 2002.
Joe.
He goes there in 2002, and he talks to people who work there. He talks to a bunch of people there, and he's like, I need to know about the wildlife here. And the area surrounding that TNT area is it's surrounded by the McClintock Wildlife Management Area, which is a bird sanctuary, basically, and was at the time as well. So there's lots of owls in the area. There's a ton of owls, and he talked with someone who works for West Virginia Munitions, and they produce the 50 caliber ammunition at the TNT compound. Told me there's owls all over the place, and neither of them have ever seen Mothman. And they're like, yeah, we lived here forever, we never seen Mothman. But because of the squeaky cry, the funny face, the features, and it's also always near like buildings.
Yeah,
he's like, I think this is a barn owl.
That would make sense.
Another reader though said, "Oh, it could be a great horned owl because they're bigger."
Yeah. Okay.
Right? And he's like, "Yeah, that also makes sense. They don't always have the same feature match necessarily, but it's night, and like they do have the advantage of being bigger." But he thinks that it's also likely that it's probably a bunch of different birds. Like it just depends on what you're looking at.
It could have just been like whatever bird they saw at that time. Like it doesn't have to be the same bird.
Yeah, and so then he's like, okay, well let me see what I can learn about owls. So he learns that the barn owl has kind of weak eye shine. Okay. Not a good candidate for the eye shine here. So it kind of rules out his first theory possibly. And the great horned owl only has kind of a medium eye shine, we call it. Not super bright, not super red, but the barred owl exhibits very strong eye shine.
I do like a
We're talking
barred
like
owl.
a red barred owl. And it's more common in the area than the barn owl. They're everywhere. Oh. And it's larger than the barn owl. It's closer in size to the great horned owl.
Okay.
So it's pretty good. Joe, again, gets the fuck out there, goes to the West Virginia State Farm Museum, which has like species of these owls displayed all over the place, and he gets to examine and photograph them because Joe does not fuck around.
Wow, Joe is really getting in there.
Joe is like, I'm gonna solve this motherfucking Mothman bullshit. There's also an account of a man named Asa Henry who shoots at, like, he hears Mothman flapping, and he like boom blasts that motherfucker down, and there's an owl. He kills an owl.
Oh.
And it's a snowy owl that he kills.
Hedwig.
It's about 2 feet tall, but its wingspan is like 5 feet.
Oh yeah, owls have huge wingspans.
Yeah. So even though it's only this tall, when it stretches its wings out, it has a lot more area to it. And he's able to see that specific specimen mounted, and he's able to talk to that man's grandson, David Piles. Piles is a taxidermist, so he like works with birds and stuff, and he is very skeptical of Mothman. And he says his grandfather was like, "Oh yeah, like I heard the Mothman flap, I shot the owl, the Mothman flap stopped." Like,
the only issue I have with that story is that snowy owls fly silently. Checkmate.
How do you know that?
That's what they say.
Who says that?
Them.
I need you to go ahead and name the British woman who told you this.
No. This is not a Harry Potter thing. Maybe it's not snowy owls. There is a certain species of owl that can fly silently.
They have like soft feathers.
Yeah.
Snowy owls. I also don't know how.
I saw a video.
I don't know how silent it is.
I saw a video, and they measured the decibels and the waveform. I'll see if I can find it. I'll link it in the Ghouly Bites. It was a cool video.
Yeah, I also just think that like when an animal's landing or moving around, it's probably going to flap, and it's going to make some sound. It's probably going to hit shit, also leaves and stuff.
I also don't think it's like
perfectly silent. Yeah, especially if it's you in the woods and then you hear an animal flapping around. Like I said, you're also hitting trees and stuff. You're moving leaves around too. It's not just the flap of your wings; it's the stuff you're disturbing.
Yeah.
By
Also, side note, it was BBC Earth.
Yeah,
that did the video.
Shout out to the Brits.
Shout out to the Brits.
These owls are silent. They're flying around and they don't even make a single sound. That's BBC Earth's stunning report. I played a clip of it just now so everyone could hear. So then, he's like trying to figure out all these birdmans because there's tons of birdmans.
Yeah.
There's a Flatwoods monster, which is in Flatwoods, West Virginia. That was aboard a flying saucer. Joe Nickel goes out there and convincingly demonstrates that the alleged flying saucer was a meteor and the hissing creature was a barn owl.
Wow.
Because he's like, I disprove this shit. That's my credentials.
Is Joe still with us?
Don't know. What am I look like? What do I look like? His mom?
We should see if we can talk to Joe. That'd be fun.
He's too smart for us.
Yeah, well, maybe he's a lot of fun. Maybe he's a fun guy. Uh-oh.
Joe Nickel died on my birthday.
Oh, no.
He died this year on my birthday.
No, Joe. Oh, this is the saddest episode ever.
What the fuck? This sucks, brother.
Wow, that's rough.
He died on my birthday.
R.I.P. Joe.
This shit blows.
Pour one out for a king.
Yeah, no.
Well, that's it for this episode.
No, not yet. Hold on. There's an owl man in England.
Oh, that's fun.
England's version of Mothman is called Owlman.
Are they sure that's not me running around in Hogwarts Legacy pushing people off a cliff?
I hope not. It's me, Avada Kedavering 75 people at once. Owlman, do you want to guess where he hangs out?
I would assume like the London Eye or Big Ben or something.
It's like church towers.
Okay.
Do you want to guess where owls hang out?
They love church owls.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, I think it kind of seems like an owl spot. Where
Yeah.
it looks like an owl, might just be an owl. And then there's a cryptozoologist guy. Oh, he puts cryptozoologist in quotes. He does not like this term. Has dubbed an undiscovered giant species of owl, dubbed it Big Hoot.
Big Hoot.
And he says that evidence is in like the Point Pleasant area. And then Joe is like, I accept that in the sense that I think Mothman is a bird. Which is very funny.
I mean, that's how I feel about
Yeah.
cryptids.
He's like, yeah, I'll take it. It's a regular bird.
I do love Big Hoot.
Yeah, well, that was a big hoot. I'm pretty convinced by it's a big owl theory.
I am too. I actually think it's really funny that people are like, whoa, that guy looks strikingly like an owl. And they're like refusing to just come to terms with the fact that it is an owl.
Yeah, there's a big kind of heron.
Oh. By the way, you look a lot like my friend Killian.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think you look a lot like Killian.
Nope. I'm the host of Ghost Binkers.
That's what they're doing. That's basically what they're doing. They're pointing at a thing that is the thing, and they're like, "That looks a lot like."
No, I'm
thing."
Mothman.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the bird, but there's a big heron that the guy thought it was originally. There's like a weird name for it. I can't remember. It's borderline derogatory. It's like shite bird shite poke.
Shite poke.
So this is like this is the sheriff of the area. He calls it a shite poke. And it I guess it's just like a colloquial term for herons.
Oh, a striated heron.
Yeah, so he's like, oh, it's just a big heron, which again, like you'd think it's kind of small.
Herons are pretty big though.
They're pretty big, and also at night, if it's flying around, it's going to seem way bigger. And they also, I think the one advantage, owls do a little bit of this too, but herons do dive in a way that's very like the Thunderbird story of the heron, where it shoots up.
Yeah.
Herons do kind of have that weird like diving and shooting up in the air, flying behavior a lot.
I do see a picture of a heron on a rooftop here.
That's the famous Mothman rooftop heron. So I'm very much in belief that it's a bird.
Yeah.
Or it's birds, I guess.
Probably an owl or a heron.
I do think that if he's real, he is a domestic terrorist. So we should arrest him. And he does live in the moon, which makes arresting him hard because he kind of self-arrests into the moon for, it sounds like 50 years or so.
However long he needs to.
Well, it sounds like 50 years.
Yeah.
It's like 67 to 2017.
So then
every 50 years he emerges from his moon prison, and
we're going to be in our 80s.
Does bridge bombings.
Oh, Mothman.
Let's go ahead and turn to the Bink scale now with our Mothman one. It does pain me greatly to remind you all that the Bink scale is a 10 unbinked, aka bonked, ghosts, or in this case the Mothman is real. 1 is a fully binked type cryptid. There is no binking left to be done because we binked it so hard that it is not real. And it pains my heart as to Mothman, to give him a 1 because he's not real. But I wish he was. I wish he was a terrorist who lived in the moon. That's pretty cool. And when I finally write my comic book, he will be a terrorist who lives in the moon. I can promise you that.
I do think that Mothman is a 1, but
he's the one.
Number 1. He is the one. He's the one in my heart. And Binkflation scale, I think I'm gonna give him the 10.
Yeah,
he is my Binkflated 10.
He is kind of the aura-ist of all the cryptids, I feel.
I absolutely love Mothman.
To be a cool Mothman, and also like his story, that initial story where he terrorizes the horny kids in the car, he does terrifying shit. He flies around.
Yeah.
He makes his shadow appear over the car. He scratches the roof. Like, that's scary shit. I like that. Yeah. He shows up in front of them and looks and aura farms and looks scary. Like, that's good. That's more than a lot of our ghosts do.
But then he flies to their house and waits for them.
Yeah.
And gives them Puss in Boots eyes for some French fries.
He also kills a dog, which is like the classic horror movie monster move.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, people in the town aren't scared of me. I'm gonna kill a dog, and then everyone's like, Mothman's not really. He's like, okay, I'm gonna detonate a bridge and kill 47 people. So yeah, I also do think that he blew up that bridge.
So he's a thinking man.
Yeah. 1 on him existing, but if he does, he did that bridge thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, thank you all for listening to this episode of Ghost Binkers. You can follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Ghost Binkers. You can email ghostbinkers@gmail.com. You can share a story, request a story, argue with us. Sarah Barnacle didn't argue with us. She shared some stories. So be like Sarah Barnacle and don't be a fucking dickhead.
You can argue with me. I'm immune to it.
I'm done with arguing. I'm into only Mothman. Me and you should figure out how me and you, the listener listening to this, who's going to write an email, should figure out how Mothman did his crimes, and we should plan, and we should find out all the bombings he's done in the United States together. While you're doing that, you should go on to Apple Podcasts or any podcast platform of your choice. You should leave us a 5-star review.
5 stars,
and
we
then,
love it.
and most critically, you must tell people to listen to the podcast.
Please.
We do not have enough listeners. Go to the store and tell the grandmas buying their bran flakes to listen to the podcast.
If you
in the comments of a post of me, staring off into space while Trev plays the fart sound over and over again, comment to tell people to listen to the show. Direct link the show there. It looks embarrassing if we do it, but it looks cool if you do it.
That is true. And if you,
I'm begging you,
if you really want us to go to Mothman Fest to make some content, tell us that you want a Patreon. We'll give it to you, but we're withholding it until people ask for it.
That's true. If you want me to be able to plan the next bombing with Mothman, I have to get in his good graces, and I have to go to that festival.
Yeah. And if you can't be bothered to do any of that shit, ghostbingers.com.
Yeah. Exactly. Everything
it's your
is there for you.
one-stop shop.
Everything is there for you, and you can send it to other people. If you're too embarrassed to send direct links to things, you can say, "Hey, check out this podcast. It's funny." Ghostbringers.com.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you
To Trev for being a guest.
Thank you to Killian for doing Cryptid Month.
Thank you to me for doing Cryptid Month. Thank you to Mothman for killing those people on that bridge. Showing them what's up. I'm kidding. Don't do that, Mothman.
That was a joke.
Mothman, thank you for killing the dog. He was not well trained. And thank you, actually, to the authors of these articles.
Absolutely.
Louise, the one from the news organization I forgot to mention.
Joe Nichols, R.I.P.
Joe Nickel, the GOAT, died on my birthday. Thank you so much for all of your good work being skeptical. And thank you to anyone we've ever quoted on this fucking podcast.
Yes.
Because they're doing a lot of work out there that I like to read. And you can find all of their wonderful writings, musings, cryptidings, ghostings in the Spooky Specimens,
AKA
also
Ghouly
called the
Bites.
Ghouly Bites. And that's in the episode description.
Yeah.
On every single platform.
Every platform.
Every platform.
I spend a lot of time on those.
Yeah, and you're not reading them, people out there.
Yeah, you
So
got to click on
those.
Click on the
things.
links.
We have embedded trackers, marketing team style, to find out what you're clicking on.
I set up a Bitly so I can see every time someone clicks them.
We're infecting your computer with malware every time you click on one of those, and we're not getting enough hits.
Don't pay any attention to the fact that it's not a Bitly link. I still have tracking Bitly code.
What's up with Bitly?
I don't know. They're still in
The
business.
links need to be small.
And that's our show.
Have a good one, everybody.
Hey there, everybody. It's your old pal Can. Yep, I'm still alive. I was getting a lot of messages that people were worried that some worm guy named Marky or something, he was coming after me, but guess what? Never saw him. I've just been on vacation.
I will end
That's
this
it for
pathetic
Cryptid Month.
cottonball excuse
now
for a
it's back to
spooky
ghosts,
spirit specter,
which I
and
hope you
also
haven't
the
forgotten that
hosts
this
of
show
this
is about
worthless
ghosts.
waste of time
Because
show if it's the last
you know
thing
what
I
happens.
do.
Also, Trev wants me to play you out with the cryptid version of the theme song. He said that he worked a little too long on it, longer than he should have. And so he wants to make sure people hear it. So we'll see you next week with The Return of Ghosts. Woo!